impacted. We may be struggling with the 2030 strategy or 2020 vision, by the way, of having the 1990 strategy in regard to AIDS, that 90% people being able to test, the 90% being able to access antiretroviral therapy, but also the 90% of virus suppression. Why am I talking about this? Because currently, although this is being disputed by the Ministry of Health, there is a condom shortage. Now, I do remember that it's the same discussion that we did have around 2010. Yes, we did have some discussion around 2013, and it was worse in Gulu, most especially where many of the health units did not have the condoms. Now, here is the catch. Of course, donors, when it comes to HIV and AIDS and discussing about sexual reproductive health and rights. Mainly these are, of course, they are funded by government, but also a huge portion of making the works in those sectors has been funded or has always been funded by donors, of course. And we've always said that donor aid is one that cannot be relied on, because anytime a donor could decide to pull out. So there is a shortage of about $200 million US out of donor funds. Uganda in a year needs about 240 units of condoms to use. That's annually, but we may be able for this particular year only be able to get 132 units. That means that a number of people will be left out. But the irony is that those who are able to buy the condoms are they that keep picking them. So they end up not giving the privilege to those who cannot be able to access condoms. And yet condoms are very, very important with regard to preventing HIV transmission. And remember, our prevalence is continuously increasing. In 2017, it was at about 50,000. Now it's at about 53,000. Something needs to be done, and we do hope that this will be sorted. Donors, condoms may sound the least thing you want to be talking about, but it's very important when it comes to preventing the spread of HIV in Uganda. And I'll leave it at that. I know that Ministry of Health is sad. I know that the donors can be able to hear, and we can be able to find out how to deal with that. But moving